Good morning, everyone. How is everybody doing? There we go. We are back, and what a day yesterday. What a beautiful price action it was. Now, all that fear mongering from some people was just so unnecessary, to be honest. I mean, if you literally thought that the US president was going to nuke 90 million people who he's literally trying to free from a terroristic regime, we're sort of retarded, I'm sorry to say. But just like ICT. I love the man for his concepts, but believe me, he's just, I think, just literally, I'm going to call him IRCT right now. So he seems to be more pro-Islamic regime than freeing the 90 million people from this regime. But anyway, that's enough about that. We're bullish. Beautiful move. Did anyone trade it yesterday? Did anyone manage to catch that short? It was a beautiful silver bullet. Then we got the turn, and I actually shut down my computer because I was like, you know what, I'm just going to watch the news and just do something else. But I had a good trade, and I'm trying just to get out of the market when I had a good trade, because that's something I really needed to work on. Just getting out of the market. You know, when you're done, you're done. And I didn't see the move in PM session, but that was awesome as well. Did anyone trade at the PM session? I would love to. I didn't see anything on the Discord though. Let me check if there was anything. I don't think people posted anything. I'm just curious, guys, because there were so many opportunities yesterday. MNQ general chat. No, I don't see anything, but I'm really curious. I really love to know if anyone managed to take some trades. I still have to go over the I did not fully journal I always do that. So if I haven't traded, I still go over it to see what did I miss. Are there any trades that I could have taken? Blah 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 blah. Well, you know, you guys know what I mean. You guys know me by now, I guess. So I haven't done that yet. So that's why I'm also very curious what you guys have been up to. Well, anyway, let me quickly mark the area that I always do. Ooh, look at that. We have a nice displacement here already. And it's already, we already mitigated that sort of. I like that. So I guess we're still bullish. Yes. Hey, Mr. Chaos Factor. How are you doing? Did you do well? Did you trade anything? Mr. Chaos, did you trade in the chaos? Or were you busy brushing your teeth? Eating or brushing your teeth, right? Did you have breakfast already? I think so. No, normally not. You eat later, halfway the stream. I know your breakfast routine by now. Hey, Mareth. Hi, Deborah. Methor. Yeah. Hey, Tamir. How are you doing? I haven't seen you for a few days, I think. Okay. Well, obviously we had a large move, right? Listen, this red line that I marked is a long time ago. And I still have it on my charts here. There we go. Now we do want to be careful, right? Because we had a big spike up. And the funny thing is that I have this green box also marked a long time ago. This green box here, right over here. We just entered it. I actually did not see, I actually didn't think we would go there this week already. But it's interesting. Let me go to I want to go to the 4 hour on this chart because I want to show you guys why I'm interested in this box. There you go. Do you see? we are lacking buy and sell side there. So I have this box as a very, it was a very interesting point of interest for me. But here we are, 25,188. We're just entering it. So I'm getting very excited. But you also have to be careful because those boxes that are marked, it also, you can see here all the time that we entered those boxes. You see what happens here? Boom, we enter it, we wick in. I'm on the 4 hour, mind you, I'm on the 4 hour. We wick into it, boom. We wick into it, boom. We wick into it, boom. So I'm very aware here of this area. Be aware. We might not enter it right now. So this might be a point where we might again go into go out of it. So I'm closely watching it. So I'm very careful in this area because at some point it will enter it. But you see how many times we hit it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, and we did not enter it. So I'm very aware of this area here. So again, we're here, but if it spikes into it, I really wanted to see it actually go above, or at least go to this red line here. Then I might be, but it might just, give us a retracement from here. So I'm just very vigilant in this area. So yes, I didn't trade anything of this because I don't trade Asia. Did anyone trade Asia? So I'm just going to be watching because I'm aware of my area here. But I do think maybe for today later on, when we have a retracement, at some point we will go inside of this area. But now I'm on alert. Like, okay, this is a dangerous area, because it has done it already 10 times or 9 times. So I'm just very careful. Yeah. And you can see here again, so we're starting to go down a little bit. So I'm just watching for now. Obviously I'm bullish, but yeah. So even though you're bullish, you can still expect a retracement, right? And then you want to enter. But it's always difficult after a large move. You want to be very careful. You want to be sure that you're not catching a falling knife. So for me, entering this green area again, which I already highlighted a long time ago, and seeing it being tested all the time, over and over, not entering, you want to respect that. Hey, Zara Trader, how are you doing? It is a wonderful morning. I have to close my curtain because the sun is obviously winter starting here, so it's getting lower. Now, winter doesn't mean it's cold. Winter just means at night it's colder. For me, it's cold, but for you guys, for normal people, it's not cold. Normal people will say, "Oh, it's nice and crisp," and I say, "Oh my God, it's so cold." So that's the difference here. Yeah, and you can still go to the beach, and you actually can sunbathe on the beach, which we can't do in summertime. So that's actually the time in South Africa where we tan in winter, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Okay, so here you go again. It's a beautiful area where it's starting to retrace. Yeah, let's go to the lower time frame. Here we go. Yeah, I did not enter any short right now. I'm just still want to watch. See, it's respect again this area. You see, it's not going into it again. So for me, I'm already asking myself, because I was on the 4 hour. I'll show you again, because the thing that I'm asking myself is, are we going to use this 4 hour, the new 2 o'clock 4 hour candle to go down? Or is this at some point it will go into the area, right? At some point it has to. Or will this one be the one? So If I'm looking at this price action, I think we have still some business here to do. I don't. Oh, we actually don't. But I don't like this price action here. I like you. Let me mark this one here. I want to see if we can do anything. Let's see if we can touch this area and if we are retesting this. I want to see if it does that. Pam, 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 pam. So I want to check the 4-hour one more time. Hold on, guys. Okay, I can take this one off. Okay, take this one. Now look at the wicks here. This one is higher, this one is lower, this one is lower. You want to see if this wick stays lower than this wick here. That's important. 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock. 25, 209, 210. Okay, let's see. If we can't get lower than this point, it might start going into it, and we might start taking those 4-hour liquidity points. 2 211. Man, I got stopped out yesterday on the cent right on the top before it goes for the massive drop. I was freaking out. Did you mean the silver bullet yesterday at 10 o'clock Eastern, or is that Mr. Chaos? Was that the trade that you were looking for? The one between 10 and 11 Eastern. I mean, yesterday, it was so beautiful. It was beautiful price action, to be honest. We went into a 1-hour fair value gap here. This was a beautiful retest of this breaker here. And then if you would mark the 1-hour breaker, this was a retest at 6:30. It was just immediate rebalancing, boom, and blast off. I don't trade Asia, but damn, this was just beautiful. No, 2500. previous month high here. What was I looking for? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go check the monthly again, guys, because remember, why am I always losing my? Oh, we already remember this gap yesterday. The yellow area that we marked here is already filled now, right? You see that? This one here is filled. That was that gap, and that was my weekly objective. Now it's already, what day is it today? Wednesday. It's already met. So I have to go back to the drawing board now. This was that gap, but that still doesn't mean we still lack sell side here. Let's go to the weekly. That's now more okay. So now we are balancing out all these imbalances here, nice and fast. Beautiful, just beautiful. Internal, external, just beautiful. Look, I'm very vigilant. I was a German time. Yeah, so that was that will be the silver bullet. Yeah, so Mr. K, I made a video on the silver bullet, but it was so clean, and I think on ES it was just as clean. It was pretty clean, to be honest. It was a nice. It respected OTE levels. I think it was this drop here. Hold on. We're talking about. Oh, what happened here? Why am I on the 15? I need to be on the 15. It was this drop, right? Right over here. But if you wanna talk about AMD, literally yesterday in London, we were in the A, and then we manipulated to the downside. That was this area. We went into a higher time frame PD array. On the 1 hour, you can see it very clearly, and then the distribution. You see here we have the fair value gap right over here. It doesn't matter for the if it was an inversion or a fair value gap. This was a high time PD array that was the objective of the move, right? So accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And the manipulation went into this PD array here, right over here. So the silver bullet was this one here in this wick. That was just, I traded it all the way to the previous day low on an MNQ. That was my trade. Because I had everything already inside. I already had this as a PD array. I saw the silver bullet. I knew that in London we had accumulated. We were moving down and we were already heading down, and I didn't catch the move from 9:30 because it was a little bit unclear to me. But then we went down. We didn't hit the previous day low. We went back up again into the silver bullet, and then we had the last move. We hadn't had the silver bullet. This clean, yeah, 11:30. Yeah, it's okay, Mr. Chaos Factor. It's, if you would start, it's better to talk in Eastern, because time is very important. Macros are very important. But if you just try to trade on Eastern time, because I'll tell you one thing, 10:34 is a thing. 10:34 is a very important time. Why? I'll share a little gem with you guys. That's the time when there hasn't been a run into liquidity. It will give you the last small manipulation. So 10:34 is exactly the time. I actually literally sent a slide to my coachee. Listen, and I showed her I said, listen, when you haven't had your trade yet, wait until after 10:34. Exactly that. Now that's up for you guys to go in your charts and go find out what I mean by that, because I'm not sharing that. But it's a gem. 10:34 is a thing. It will give you the last manipulation before it will give you the actual move, and that move mostly comes then in the 10:50 macro. I knew exactly at 10:34. I knew I had to wait. I was already positioning myself, but I knew I had to wait till the macro. But 10:34 gave me the last confirmation, actually, and that's where you probably got stopped out. Yeah. 10:34, such an important time. Guys, I keep on saying it, time over price, always. Always. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised that you got stopped out, because I was already positioning myself, because it hit exactly 702 on the OTE level, but that was at 1024-ish, I believe. And then at 1034, it became a little bit fickle. It made one move up right again, right? And it sort of like pretended to be bullish again over there. But that's exactly the point of that algo. Kind of wanted a low SL but got punished. Well, the thing is that you could have positioned yourself already when there is one low, one other high. If you use the OTE levels, you could see it hit exactly 702. I positioned myself when I saw that. I started positioning myself, and then that 1034, my stop was already above that, or I can't remember what I did, but I knew that 1034 wouldn't go higher than that one high that was made above it. And I believe, I'm not sure if NQ and ES did exactly the same, but it didn't manipulate higher than that previous swing high that it formed. But 1034 was exactly that move, if I'm correct, that tried to manipulate everybody out of their shorts. But it didn't go higher than the previous high that was formed at 1024, I believe. Now I'm not going to enter any longs at this point. Why? I don't like this area, and I really want to see it tap into here, and I just don't trust it because we also have a bearish fair value gap here. Same situation like yesterday, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. So I'm just waiting. We are above Asia high. We tapped into 25,200. So, well, but you didn't. and you need to understand why you did not do it. What's the logic? Why should you have put your thing there? It was a very clean algorithmic area. Everything was, it couldn't get cleaner than it was yesterday. It was just beautiful. So, but oh, you got your stop loss. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. Hey Jay, how are you doing? Now, do we have news today? What day is it today? Let's check news. What is the news today? There are FOMC minutes, but the minutes are, it's a red folder news, it's a 2, but the minutes are not as strong as the meeting itself. The minutes are the minutes of the meeting that was 3 weeks prior, right? So they release the minutes. It can still give a move, but it's tend to be less volatile than the FOMC meeting itself. So the minutes, you want to be aware that at 2 p.m. there is red folder, so they can use it to make a larger move or to manipulate, which we have to be aware of in this time, right? Even though we're very bullish, they could still use that folder news to make a certain move or use that to manipulate more. But technically, the minutes will be less volatile than the meeting because the meeting has already been there and we already know the data technically. It's just like they have made the minutes and it's done. So that's the only thing. Oh, and it's 10-year bond auction. That's always a thing with me. I don't like that. So I will have a look at the market, but maybe I'll just trade after PM session. I might do a stream after 1. I might do a stream. I sort of like want to do a stream once in a while in New York. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. I think it's interesting times, right? Just to be. Maybe I'll try not to trade in the morning and then try to have a good banger trade in the afternoon. Still gonna have 1 trade per session. Not more than that. Yeah, okay. So that's 8th of April. It's 8, yeah, we are there. Okay. Yeah, so there is red folder news, but it is not as volatile as most people confuse the minutes and the meeting. I used to do that as well until someone said, no, you're wrong. It's not it's the minutes. Okay. It sounds the same. Well, they're not. Hey, Maxima. Well, why would I be in puts? I have more long bias than short bias, to be honest. I'm not ready to go. I think shorts are just retracements for now, but at some point I will be interested again in shorting. But actually this was my weekly objective. So, but once we get over here, I think it's on a mission. I think I had this red line here for a long time. So I'm not interested in any shorts until 700-ish, 25, 700. So for me, everything will be a retracement, but that is could be large moves anyway. I mean, yeah, you can still have a make good money on retracements, but I'm not really interested. I would rather catch a nice move from a retracement further into. Look, I'm getting very excited that we're getting into this green box because I'm really looking for distribution, and I hope we get low resistance. And again, the fact that we got here and we're just doing the same thing over, but I think at some point um, we're going to get that. And I hope that will be maybe this New York session, maybe. Who knows? I'm not expecting it now, but it could. Hey, listen, I'm just waiting and watching, but I don't want to be again. Look, these are the areas that I have been taken for a ride. And again, I'm going to show you on the 4 hour here. This is my green box. You see all the wicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're number 9 now. So I'm aware. I know this is an area that tends to wick. At some point it won't. But I don't know if that's now. And I'm waiting for that now. I'm waiting for this moment that we get finally. Because there is nothing here. It's blank. There's no sell side, there's no buy side. So it's begging for it. It's begging for it. But this is also an area where you get tricked. Because here, this is a 4 hour chart, mind you. So this is price action that if you're on the lower time frame, you see price action go into it and then it goes out of it. So it's a wick. But on the lower time frame, it's price action. But I just want to see what it does in regards to these wicks. So that's what I'm looking at. And I'm just waiting to see what this 4 hour candle is doing in regards to these wicks. Are we forming one more wick? Because that's trend line liquidity, right? I'm just waiting for, are we forming trend line liquidity? Because then we have 4. So guys, I don't do trend lines, but this is the only way I look at it. Okay, so otherwise I can charge you over $6,000 for it, scam you out of your money. But I'm just looking if we are going to take it up. Now one could argue, yeah, but look, you're already over it. Yes. We are already over it. So you want to be aware that it took out this liquidity here of this wick here, but not this wick. So I know it took liquidity here, but I want to see how it behaves in regards to this wick. So the moment it starts really going into it and it starts taking this liquidity, then it might become very interesting. Um, hey, all respect to the girl. I mean, she knows how to take people who she literally. I mean, respect for someone who knows how to takes people's money with selling literally air. And you sort of like have to say, if you really fall for it, maybe you deserve it. But she's a smart cookie. You have to give her that. No, in all honesty, she's actually very transparent. She's actually, this is what I do, and this is what it is, and it's nothing else. So, um, but the question becomes where it becomes a little bit, where's the red line of knowing that you are literally actually not. She had one trade go and draw down 250,000 K, and then she sold it as, once it started going back up, she sold it as, oh, look at it, it's very successful. So she's not 100% honest. But on the other hand, I mean, um, you know, there are so many already out there that she's been exposed in many ways, and people still fall for it. So it is what it is. It's the same with Dodgy. Dodgy is also, he comes forward as, like, I'm more an influencer than I'm a trader. And he's actually, still people are paying him money, even though he literally tells you, I'm actually just an influencer. I am not actually a good trader. And he is saying every time he has so much money, and he's trying to frame himself as someone who's really make a lot of money, but he's still living in his parents' basement. You still fall for it? I mean, come on, guys. They tell you literally who they are. Literally. They tell you what they do. They tell you what they. So you got to give them credit for what they are good, what they're good in. They're good in influences. They're good in selling something, and they are providing entertainment. It's the same with Jade Cap. So he was posting all these videos last few months. Every week it was the same one about his failure swing pattern, and he was saying every video, oh, this strategy works every day, 940. And then he was called out by a couple of people. And then he came out, he says, yeah, but listen, guys, I didn't lose my edge. I just, the market doesn't give me my edge nowadays. But then again, what I don't like about that is that he posts these videos pretending that his strategy works every day, but it just doesn't work for him. But obviously he mentioned that he is this person that makes so much money and that he was the record holder, but use his apex quote. So what happens with these people? They don't trade themselves anymore because it's not their edge, but they're trying to make money because their costs go up, because they buy. I believe that he made a lot of money, and I believe he did well. But obviously their lifestyle changes, and they spent more money. But then they try to live off the community by pushing the prop firm codes, but not trading themselves because they don't have an edge in the market anymore, which he came forward to. But yet he is selling it in all his videos, which are literally the same every week. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's the same failure pattern swing. But then he comes clean because people are calling him out. Yeah, I'm not trading, guys, because the market doesn't give me my edge. But yet you're pushing videos to pretend it is your edge every this pattern works every day. That's what I don't like about these people, what they are doing. And that is what they start to create a false narrative, which isn't there anymore. If it's not your edge, it's not your edge. But don't try to sell to people who have less knowledge than you that your edge, what you have been making money of, is still working. And then later on you try to say, oh, no, but I'm just not trading right now but yeah, you need money because you bought a new mansion, you bought a new farm, you bought a new car, you need fuel for it, so you need money. And then they're trying to feed off those prop firm codes because they need income to keep flowing, and they're not making it from trading anymore. And that's what I don't like, and that's what I have a problem with. That's where the ethical thing comes in, and people try to sell you a narrative of a time that they did do well in the trading market. And then they try to use the community to push those prop firms on false narratives. And that is every time what I hate about it. And that's what you see happening all the time. You see it with Dodgy, you see it with Jade Cap. Well, I don't want to call any other names, but it's the same thing over and over. The moment they start doing prop firms, they are thinking, okay, it's a constant flow of income. They rely on it, becomes an income stream they need because their income, they need more income per month because their standard of living goes up. But then they think, oh, I don't need to trade anymore. I can feed off my community now. That's what they do. They feed off their community. And that's where I have a problem with. It pisses me off, and I actually posted it on JadeCab. He says, "Oh, I don't. Everybody's calling me out that I don't have an edge, but it's because." And I said, "Yeah, well, your videos, you know." And I posted, "Well, your videos state that your edge works every day. Look at them, and they're every week the same. Please use my code." That's what I don't care if they don't trade because their edge is not out there anymore. All respect to the guy, but don't feed off something that you did a long time ago and then make a useless video which just repackaging every week just to promote prop firms and, oh, I'm the number one holder. Yeah, well, you haven't traded for 6 months, but you need money, right? Yeah. Yeah, it pisses me off. It's all about, that's why I don't do prop firms codes, because I'm afraid that I become one of those people, that I become like that. Let me close the door. So, yeah, I am a trader, and I want to be a trader. I'm not a salesman. I don't want to become an influencer. I want to keep. I don't care if my community doesn't grow as fast. I just want to keep it authentic. I want to keep it about education. I want to keep it um, about trading, and not about, you know. I don't want to be. Uh, yeah, I just don't want to be about that. Let me put it that way. So, but anyway, yeah, it just pisses me off. People try to pretend and feed off the community. It's literally feeding off the community. And there's so many people that are new and they fall victim to it. It's just, and also the people that try to sell how easy it is to trade 20 accounts. It's ridiculous. It's bloody ridiculous. Trading a lot of accounts takes, it's psychological. You need to grow into that. You cannot just trade 20 accounts like that. Okay, also, guys, I want to show something. You see this? We've got a flat candle here formed in my macro. So also, I don't want to go long until this area is cleaned up. No, this is my only source of income. I moved. I'm a digital nomad. I moved to South Africa. This is the only way I can live. I have to make money off income of trading. So, and you know, I leave a lot of money on the table. Oh, I like it. Now it's interesting. Platforms are very easy to make money off, and it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money you can make off it if you start using that. But I don't know. It's just something I'm really afraid. My fear with the prop firms is that if I have a prop firm that I like and they go bad, that my community who uses my code falls victim to it. And, you know, what are you going to do? It's just something I just don't want to be part of. I'm just afraid that I love Funded Next right now. And I actually thought, okay, well, let's do it. But then again, I was like, yeah, but how long are they going to be nice? You know, until when are they going to be nice? Are they going to, you know, funded ticks? Everybody was, oh, funded ticks, funding ticks. And then they changed and everybody, all those influencers, most of them, they just deleted them quickly from their, you know, they had a lot of followers that used their accounts and they got hurt by it. And then all those influencers, and there are well-known names in our community. Most of them, they just deleted it from their overlay and they didn't even talk about it. Did they give money back to the people that got used their codes? Did they give back their kickback? No, they did not. They never talked about it. Never. They just shut up. They just go quiet and they just move on like nothing happened. And I think that's disgusting. But anyway, enough about that again. You guys know how I feel about it. Okay, look, this area is interesting to me. I want to see if it holds or if it's going to go below it. Now, we have a lot of downside to go if we're going to go short. I don't trust this short yet, to be honest. Um, Even though it's 3 o'clock, I'm just going to wait. I would rather wait for a retracement and then a continuation than taking it now and just not being sure if it's really ready to really drop into the abyss. If I'm looking at the 1 hour, we still don't have a change in the state of delivery, nothing on the 1 hour. This is still, for me, no confirmation for a short yet. I don't trust it yet. I would rather wait. See, also on the 15-minute, there is no change in the state of delivery for me yet here. And I'll tell you something else why I also don't like it. I can see this as a propulsion block. Um, Let me just use this. I'm more interested in a long from here somewhere than a short. Uh, oh, let me get my coffee. Yeah. I'm just not sure if this is the area it really wants to move to the downside from. Mm. 038. 038. Ah, 17. Okay, let's see now. Yeah, I'm just not, for me, I don't have enough confirmation for the short yet. It's 10 past. See how it behaves here. I do like this. You could call this a model 2022 though. This could be a silver bullet. 10 past. I still don't, there's something off. I don't know what. Can't figure it out yet. We swept liquidity, but we didn't take this one here. I don't know. I just don't feel I can trust it yet. We left equal highs. Yeah, if this short goes without, I can see the silver bullet here. I can frame it, but I just don't trust it yet for some reason. I can see a model 2022 here, but I'm just not sure about the higher time frame PUA that we went into. I just think it wants one more, just one, a little bit higher before it wants to really do that move. I think this is just a fake move, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm not shorting anything. You want to see a fast, you want to see like really, it goes into a higher time frame PDRA, you have one move, you go quickly into retracement, and then you have faster displacement. For me, it feels like we want to go a leg up again, and then maybe we get that move, that short that we're looking for. Um, there's too much consolidation. Just one leg lower, consolidation, one leg lower, too much going up into the upside. I don't consider this a valid silver bullet in the sense of the time now, maybe, unless we are staying here until 20-ish, 320. I think it's going to go back up. Yeah. I'm not touching the short yet. I'm staying out of it. Hello, C. Kennedy. How are you doing? So on the higher time frame, we are above this area here. I want to see if we can stay above it. I think it's respecting this one here. Okay, I'm going to position myself for a long, I think. Yeah, no, I'm not interested. Yeah, I mean, we had yeah, I was bullish all the time, to be honest, but, um, the question is now, when do we get the continuation, or when does price want to go into this range, right? To retrace and want to go back up. I'm very bullish, still. I've actually been bullish all the time. But the thing is, with you can always anticipate, even though we're very bullish, it could easily go down. You know, we need to go to premium discount at some point. That's the tricky part now. You know, being bullish is the easy part, but it's the it's the, like, where do we enter now? If you did not position yourself here, we are trying to find a good entry, but we want to be careful that we are not. So see, Candy, I don't know if you're here, but I marked this for, let me show you why I'm a little bit vigilant in this area. As you can see, I made a green box in this area. Why? So I'm looking at this area already for a long time. I marked this area already from end of February. And look, every time on the 4 hour, we went into it and we only wicked. Like here, this is price action when you go on the lower time frame, but you see it tested this area many times. I already counted this, this is 9. So I'm very vigilant in this area. Now I want this area to be mitigated. Why? Because we lack both sell side and buy side. So I already had this box since 26th of February on my chart, looking like, okay, once when we go in there, I know I'm expecting low resistance liquidity run going into it. But I'm also very aware that this is a tricky area where price action might want to trick us again. Maybe this will be the 10th time that it goes into it and then goes out. So I'm watching the wicks here, how we are behaving in comparison to these previous wicks, because this will tell me a lot of it. This will give me a lot of information. But I'm very eager to trade this area, and I've been waiting since 26th of February. For it. I didn't think we would get there this week, because I remember I had that little gap that you asked about. We already went through that gap, the monthly gap, right? That was this little gap here. That was this little gap right over here. So we already went through this. Boom. So so now my green box comes into play, but I'm also very aware, because the previous information of this green box, be aware, we could easily make another low, like if this wick might become a little bit lower than this and then go back into the range. Like look what happened here on all those 4-hour cups. We go into it and we manipulate in the area. We go back and forth, back and forth. So I'm not too eager. I'm not too bullish in the sense of like, oh my God, we're bullish now. So everybody's going to think bullishness, but this is the area where you're going to be tricked, because they've been doing that all the time in this area. This is the area you really want to be careful, because everybody, like, the sentiment is, oh, it's bullish now because of what's happening, because you had one spike up. Yeah. But that's not what price is telling me here. This is what price is telling me. Listen, be careful here, because this is the area where they want to trick you. Here they want to trick the longs out of their positions. So I'm still bullish, yes, but I'm very aware that this area is also the tricky zone where they want to get you out of your long positions and will try to make you feel bearish. Or maybe we might get a bearish move all the way back into this gap, right? Because we created a gap as well, an end dog. A new day opening gap, that's like the difference between the close and the opening of the futures market. So the difference between 5 o'clock, where the futures markets close, and the opening at 6 o'clock. That's the end dog, new day opening gap. And we call it the end walk. It's the same time, but then when it goes over the weekend, so from Friday to Monday, that's when we call it end new week opening gap. So these gaps are very important, because they are gaps that smart money uses. They refer back to them algorithmically also. So that's why I'm just watching this area now to see how we behave in this green, how we are behaving. For me, it's between the green box and the fair value gap that I marked. So I'm just watching and observing, are we respecting this fair value gap? Yes, we are. You can see it. So I mark this one, and you can see it's not going below it. Well, it caught a little bit, but on the higher time frame, it's just a wick again. On the 1 minute, you will see bodies right here. You're like, oh my God, it's going below it. No, it's not. So you can see it's on the 5 minute, it's just a wick. So I'm still bullish. But I'm also aware. So I know a lot of people want to go short here because they think, oh my God, we hit the blah, blah, blah. But again, it's not telling me it's a short yet. It is not telling me it's a short yet. We've got accumulation, manipulation, and maybe they want to oppose this liquidity and maybe tap into this wick again and take out maybe here and then go lower again. So I'm just waiting. No, I don't need to look at the VIX, to be honest. I think it might help. I know a lot of people look at the VIX, but I don't really need it, I think, to... You know, all the algorithmic signatures are in the price section that is printing, but sometimes we just don't know them, or we just we're not experienced enough to see them. But I honestly believe everything is in the price section and in time in combination with price. What is specific? What's happening at specific time? You know, and marking the right areas to watch is very important as well. Like, for example, what I've been studying a lot is this macro. I've been studying this for over a year now, and as weird as it sounds, like I marked this area because I trust this to give me my information that I need. Not just because this is the fair value, but in combination with everything that I'm seeing, in combination with time and price and if-then statements and looking at the higher time frame, I'm trusting this level to help me identify that it's not a short at the moment. if that makes sense. Now I know a lot of people are already looking at this as the silver bullet, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm going short here at 312." Or do you want to share something about the rocket scooter levels? How does it work? So does it rocket scooter levels also indicate that it's not a short yet, or how does it work? If you want to share, I don't know if you want to share, but just curious how what does it look at? What is it? So it based on the VIX, and then it applies the VIX levels to MQ or something like that. So I actually said I wanted to position myself long, but I didn't do it because I'm just, I just don't know if it's let me put it that way. I only want to enter a trade if I'm really sure I'm going to enter in the distribution move of the 1 hour, the 4 hour candle. And I'm just not 100% sure why, because I'm looking how price is printing here. This just tells me like, okay, I'm not going to enter yet for a distribution move. I only want to be in trades. I don't know if you guys saw the trade that I did yesterday on New York. It was 135 points on NQ on the, because everything was lining up. Everything lined up for me. Time, price, everything was there. And then I was positioning myself already before the macro, and I didn't even take a partial, to be honest. And I also put that in the description because I felt so confident in the trade being going to its TP that I didn't even bother to take a partial. Hey, it's just Haney. Oh, did you took the long? I did not take the long. Haney, we had the same trade obviously yesterday. It's so funny. Yeah, it was just, I think if you have the same, if you apply the same rules and the same logic, I guess we all take the same trades at some point, right? If you trade similarly or your strategy are aligning, then it's almost literally to the tick, right? Yeah, I didn't take the long because I don't like this. It's just Haney. For me, this is just not ready yet to blast off. And this for me is a treacherous area because if you look at the 4 hour, this is an area where we went in and out many, many times and we formed wicks all the time here. So I just want to see, I just want to have more certainty of what price is doing in this area in higher time frame wise. But yeah, hey, listen, this is the area. I put my account open. Hey, Orod, how are you doing? I don't know what time you went in, but I'm just looking at this area here. You see all these wicks here, and I want to make sure that we create either we're going to take this liquidity and then we get our low resistance liquidity run, or we're going to create one more lower low and go into the range, and then I want to, now I do have FOMO to miss this trade. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Because I've been waiting for this box since 26th of February. If I'm waiting for a green box and I miss that trade, that's when I get upset. That's why when you see me get annoyed, because I really want to be part of that trade, because those are my distribution, those give me large trades and my distribution, which is very clear to me, because, if I'm looking for imbalances, and this is such a clear area, I actually didn't think we would go there in this time of the week already. But I'm happy to see that we're sort of like stalling here, and we haven't taken out these. But I think once we start running, it's going to run. This is going to be a nice area. I like this area. But yeah. So if you wait for something very long and you miss it, you get pissed off. I get pissed off. Then you'll see me really be in a bad mood. Okay, let's see now, guys. I'm more interested in a long than a short, as I said, but I just don't know if the time is right to enter. We took out the equal highs here. We still have equal highs here. We also have equal. Well, yeah. So I don't know yet. I just don't know yet. But I will be in this low resistance liquidity. I can tell you that for sure. If I have to stay up for Asia, I will. I will. I'm not going to miss a box that I've been waiting for a month. But it's all about time. Time. And this is my TP at some point. 733, 600 points higher. This is a very tricky area. I keep on saying it, guys. Be careful here. They're going to try to get everybody out of their positions here. Here in South Africa right now. Oh, right, you're in the Bay Area. I'm in KwaZulu-Natal, by the way. What time is it? Let me get my phone because all my computers are on Eastern time. I always have to look. It's 6 hours difference there. 9:31. It's 9:30 here. 9:31 exactly. So oh. Yeah, 9:30. Yeah, we have the same time. Of course, we don't have any time. Thank God that we don't have any time difference in different areas of South Africa. I mean, that's sort of like annoying, right? If you have in the same country, you have to be aware of that. Let me open the sunlight. Oh, you're in Atlanta. Okay, gotcha. Why are you in South Africa? Because I like it here. Look where I live. I have ocean view. I have I live either I have ocean view or I live in the bush where I hear the sound of the hyenas at night. I have nature around me. I can go to the beach and the forest walk within 5 minutes from my place. I've got an avocado tree right in front of me feeding me. I'm literally ODing on avocados right now. And I like South Africa. I like it. I might move into another country at some point, but for now, this is where I want to be. Yeah, it's a nice. I mean, in the Netherlands, we don't have any nature, to be honest. Everything is so landscape or destroyed. That is just. I was very asthmatic as well there. Now I don't have any. I hardly have any. Even though there's a mining company not too far from here, that is actually it's an Australian mining company, which is sort of bad. And but even though the mining and I sometimes because everything is open all the time here, I still have a lot of sort of dust from the mining and the sand. I still don't have any issues because I have so much. It's so green. I mean, you can see you can see my balcony. You see how many trees. I can hardly see the ocean from this room. I have to go to my rooftop now because it's so full. The winter's starting, so the leaves will fall. So then I'll have ocean view from my bed again. But now I can't see the ocean because it's just it's too lush. Everything is it's packed. But I like it. I like trees. I mean, I can't live without trees. It's so beautiful. Oh, you can't see all the trees. Here you go. I'm sitting in front of the view. But now I've got monkeys here and oh, you're in Mexico. Where are you in Mexico? Yeah, aren't you? Isn't it nice? Avocados. I actually never knew that they grew on a tree. To be honest, I thought they were bushes, but I never knew they grew on trees. We have a lot of. Yes, we have. Yeah, we do have. I mean, I've been bitten by a scorpion already and stuff like that. But and we have. I've got cobras in my garden here. We actually have a forest cobra. Actually, he's been housed in one of the garden walls, we think, because we've seen it a couple of times. But yeah, oh, and my cats, they have already. I've taken them to the doctor. I've got all the stuff here for. Well, we don't have the spitting cobra here. That was more on the Lowveld where I'm from. But yeah, my cats, a couple of times already, I had to treat their eyes because they told they want to play with the spitting cobra, and then they come crying, oh, and then they have their eyes need to be cleaned, but they're all good. Their eyes are still okay. Dogs on the other hand, in the bush, they don't understand that they have to retreat from a snake and then they get bitten. Cats on the other hand, they only get the spit in their eyes because they retreat, but then the snakes actually they have developed themselves that they can even spit into our eyes because they evolve. So you have to be very careful with spitting cobras because it's just horrible. I mean, the first time it happened to my cat, I didn't know that it was. I thought it was over, but then I went to the doctor and they said no. If you're on time, it's treatable and it's nothing. You have to monitor them a little bit, but you can rinse the spit out of their eyes and you just have to make sure that they didn't get it into their system. But they had it twice already, both of them. Yeah, cats are. Yeah, but they're stupid that they want to play with them. That's the stupidity, right, of the cats. They think, you move. Let me play with you. And then they find out that, okay, you know what, maybe not, but they're still fast enough. But then a dog, they bark and they want to try to kill it, but most of the time dogs don't survive in the bush a lot. They get killed a lot. So, but yeah, but we still have to be careful. I mean, I have to be careful with snakes here. But yeah, listen, I love being in the bush. Like for waking up. But you know what? Here we don't have. We don't have as much here as in the bush. But when you have a thatched roof, the scorpions they fall through the roof. And I have stories of people that have a scorpion in their bed, and that's scary. Because you always have to check in the bush. You always have to check your bed and your pillows and stuff like that, and also your shoes when they are open. Before if you put them on the floor. That's why we always put our shoes like this in the bush, so anything will fall out already. But you still have to look because a caterpillar can go inside as well, and there's some that are really nasty ones. So yeah, and I got used to when I walk bare feet in my house. I always look to the floor always because I always want to see what's out there. Yeah, you get used to that. But hey, surprise of living in paradise, I guess. But here it's a little bit. It's not as here. I'm not living in the bush right now. We do have bushy stuff, but not as really living in the bush. In the bush, I need my cat to warn me for a snake when it's in the house or scorpion. Oh, let me. What's the cost of living? Well, so the cost of living is lower than in Western society in the sense of rent, but it depends on where you want to live, right? If you want to live in a safe area, you'll pay more. I guess for South Africans sometimes because the wages are not as good as in Asia or as in Europe. But I was surprised, for example, to see the prices in the supermarket that they are almost similar that what we pay in the Netherlands, and even though the wages here are much lower, so I was like, wow, that's really not a good thing. But technically, I my what the taxes are. I actually still don't know. I have someone doing my taxes, but because I live here as a foreigner, I think I have to live here a couple of years before they are allowed to tax me. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but I think it's not that much because it will be better than. But I think it's not zero, so I still have to pay tax at some point. But because I'm just here, let me put it that way. I am not. I'm going to be taxable from this year on, so I still have to do I have someone who will do it for me. Then I will know exactly. But I think I'm allowed to have income up to a certain amount, and then they'll tax me. And I don't think it's much higher than, I don't know, maybe 18% or something like that from my income. But it's foreign income, so I don't know if they will tax me because I don't make it in South Africa. So I think there's a lot of exceptions for me. So it's hard for me to say. I think maybe someone who is from South Africa. Now someone is asking, can we long here? Yeah, I think Puerto Rico. I think yeah, I don't think it will. I don't think it will be better than Puerto Rico. But if you live here as a foreigner, I don't think we will be taxed here as a normal income. Arshad is asking, does it look like a long, Arshad? Do you really think this is a good entry for a long? I will be more. I will be, yeah, California. Yeah, but California is run by a bunch of lunatics. I mean, I mean, California is just crazy. Yeah, of course, the rich people are leaving. They're all leaving to Texas and to other states. I mean, it's really unfriendly to. Even New York is running empty now because it's stupid mayor. It's just crazy how people voted that person in as mayor. It's just crazy. I don't know what's wrong now with people. It's just crazy what happened. I don't know. It seems like the logic has just gone out of the window. People are not thinking clearly anymore. Hey, Vincent, how are you doing? Oh, are you in Orod? Are you in? Oh no, you said where you were. Yeah, my aunt lives in Texas, in Houston, actually in Humble, and she says it's getting so. They've lived in there for 40 years now. My uncle died a few years ago, and they were so happy there. But it's crazy. Every time I go there, and even though it's like a suburb where they live, I've seen it get more busy and busier every year. And it's like they are building so much, but it still feels like it's, there's still space and there's still, but I think it's the fastest growing uh, region of the US because, they have there is good government, the taxes are, it has everything there. The climate is nice. I think Florida is also nice too, I think, right? Florida, if I would live in the US, I would either choose, I think I would be more drawn to Florida than Texas, I think, but because it has the ocean, I guess. But yeah. Is there anyone from Florida here? Can you tell, oh, you're in Florida, Iban. Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah. I think Florida is really nice. I think I like the climate. I like the humidity. I like the warmer climate. My trading journey. Well, I started like most of you guys as well with retail. I lost a lot of money with retail. Um, and then, let's say 6 years ago, might be 6.5 by now. And then 3 years later, I was pointed out to ICT, and that's where my journey really shifted. So that's about 3.5 years ago. And my journey really shifted when I started journaling, and I started really to see connecting dots and getting better in my trading. But the journaling has really helped me to really get much better in my trading and start connecting dots faster and grow. And I guess my biggest growth came about a year ago that I really started trading larger moves, whole market maker models, being able to understand the start of a new, where did the algo shifted from buy to sell or sell to, and then manage to be able to catch moves larger than at least 50, 60 points. I actually don't, I hardly trade, I actually don't even trade smaller trades anymore, but I still want to try to find them because of the stream. But yeah, I think this year really I really started growing more into the trader that I am right now. I think the real growth, the biggest growth has been this year, I think. Also identifying chop, staying out of chop. This is the area that costs me the most money all the time. Not understanding, okay, we're chopping and being, well, my biggest problem is impatience. I wanted to get in and not miss. I would get really like, if I see a displacement already, I want to be in, that feeling. And that's something I really I'm still working on, but that is I never knew that I had that issue, to be honest. Because in life, I am not, I don't have an addictive character. I don't gamble. I like games and I like the element of surprise, but I really had a sort of like at some point thought, am I addicted to trading but then I found out it's biology. It's not me being undisciplined. It's just me falling for the biology trap. So you have to figure that out and then, no, I have you seen my, yesterday I posted another video. It was 135 point trades. I actually don't trade. I don't have shorter trades than 60 points minimum. Average is about 100 points now. I would rather wait for those than trade, but that has been challenging with the market that we came into, right? But no, I hardly scalp anymore. I posted a video of yesterday, Silver Bullet, that I did. It was 135 points on MNQ. And there was actually even a better move afterwards, but it's okay. And yesterday in London, we had on average, I think it was 3 micros that I did, and one had 90 points, 90, and the smallest one had 60 points. Yeah, so that was a London trade yesterday. I was a little bit lucky, to be honest, because that was the last one that I entered. I couldn't move my stop loss, and then we had the spike up, remember, and that was 90 points, 90. But that was because I didn't put in my TP yet, and then it already spiked. Yeah. So yeah, that was a beautiful, see Kennedy, that was a beautiful silver bullet. I put it on the YouTube as on the New York session. So the reason I stopped scalping was because smart trader, it's low probability, my friend. You shouldn't be entering here. Yeah, but smart trader, it's signaling to us that it's not ready to move yet. We're still in low probability area. We are in a macro though, are you trading time, smart trader, or are you just entering? So let me get back into why I don't scalp anymore. Because when I was trading with prop firms, I started to get messages because when I was doing scalping, or I guess I wasn't really that experienced yet to take larger trades at that point. When I would get nervous because I entered and it wasn't really, maybe I sort of had a model, but it wasn't refined as it is right now. And I would get nervous and I would enter, but then we had a spike up and I would get out very quickly, right? I would go for 10 points, 15 points, but sometimes they were met within 10 seconds, or it was just maybe the last move. And then I started getting messages like, okay, we're going to ban you because you are micro scalping. That meant, and I'm still not sure if it was 20 seconds or 10 seconds, because some of them were less than around 20 seconds and some were 10. So I got really, really nervous because at that time there weren't many prop firms that I was allowed to trade with because I live in South Africa. I was actually funded. I had a live account with Top Step, but we had to abandon each other because they changed the rules. And then with my funded futures, I was about to be taken to live at that point. But they changed that rules a little bit later. So I was losing all my prop firms. And then this new one came by, which was funded next. And they started to, we're going to ban you because and like, hey, listen, I was already working for another prop firm. I said, listen, I have videos how I trade. It's been, I'm actually working on models, but it's not how I always trade. But they were right. And I said, yeah, I think you're right, but it's not how I always trade. Can I prove it, please? So I started proving myself, but I still had to get rid of that habit. So I really started working on it, and that was like 3/4 of a year ago. And now I'm like, okay, I don't want to touch that anymore because I don't want to get that, that warning. So that's how I really start developing. I trade both C Kennedy. You see me charting on NQ because I trade on NQ as well, but because the volatility, yesterday's trade was on micro, so I said also in the description, I charted on NQ, but I traded on the evals on MNQ. I took 4 MNQs. Yeah. So you see, guys, I'm not interested in this price action. Why? Because we're still hanging around in this area. It's just telling me we're just going to look where we're at in the 5 minute. We're now hanging. We're not hanging in this area now. We're now one lower, but it's a fair value gap, right? You see, it's still not. You want to see. You really want to be careful. And like I marked that propulsion block as well here. It's a propulsion block, plus you have a fair value gap on the 15 minute. So I don't know. I actually I'm not too sure because um, if this is going to function as a propulsion block, which we will know now because we finally hit it, we will see now. Again, I want to point out how the 4 hour work in this area, right? Look here. You have 1 4 hour, it goes into it. The next 4 hour goes into it again. So that's why I'm a little bit careful to say we're moving away. Oh, we have 2 go already into it. Well, let's see. Might be. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going into it. Here 1, here 1, 2, here 1, 2. Okay, I took liquidity here. Okay, let's see. Is the war between the US and Iran affecting you in Africa? Well, I guess if you're in the trading business, it affects you anywhere you are, right? You have to be aware of what's going on, but not really. It affects me maybe as a person because I've got Persian blood running through my veins. So, but no, not really. It would affect me more if I would be living in Europe, where you have all those lunatics choosing the. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with people right now. They're choosing terroristic regime over 19 million people that have been oppressed for 47 years. It's crazy to me, but it is what it is. Hey, C. Kennedy, didn't you actually? I was thinking about this as well. it actually it taught me a lot. It taught me patience, this price action. And also I got very frustrated at some point. I was like really bitching and moaning about it, and I thought, no, you're going to study it right now. And then it made me a lot better to sit through price action that's just going to consolidate. And yes, sometimes you might miss that one move. If it expands from it right now, I'm okay to miss that move because it's not the move I'm interested in, right? Because I want everything lining up, and I wouldn't be surprised if it spikes up from here or something. And if it goes lower, I don't care because it just goes too slow for me, and then it might, for me it's like low probability because if I look at this area, I'm like, okay, well, it could blast through it, but it could also spike back up again into this wick, for example. Look, who knows? Most of us, we know about the devil's mark around here, right? We want to be careful when we see this here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we spike back up here and we go back, and then I will enter my short. So whenever one of you guys is trying it and you are just going for 5 and 10 points and being stopped out, I'm just waiting. And I've learned now a lot, like if I wait, I just get better trades and I get a reward. And sometimes you miss the trade, and that's okay. That happens, right? If you're patient, it's a double-edged sword. But I must say, in all honesty, if I miss a trade, there's always a better one later on because sometimes you don't know why you don't feel at ease because you haven't figured it out yet. But it always tells me like, okay, you start recognizing things, but sometimes you haven't conceptualized it for yourself yet. Or okay, it's 4 o'clock now. Now, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised because we touched 0.5 here if we're going back into this range. I'm not gonna enter the long. So Deborah, the devil's mark is a candle without a wick. That means lack of manipulation. So the saying like wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. It does only apply when you want to read things like here, okay, is the body staying into a fair value gap? But wicks are just equally as important in the sense of what is price doing. Now, lack of manipulation means it will get a level of manipulation at some point. That means a lot of the time when you have a devil's mark, a wickless candle, pardon me, it will get, price will go up here and give it a little kiss. I always call it a kiss, and it will give it a wick and go back down. Now, it doesn't have to do it straight away. It can leave it go lower and then come back to it at some point. But if I see a devil's mark here and I don't trust this price action, I'm wondering if this will be the area that will give me the better short instead of here, because we're in a fair value gap, right? We're in a fair value gap, and this could work as a propulsion block. So I'm not trusting this at all. I would rather be in a long up to this devil's mark, but I'm not taking it, but I'm just pointing it out that I'm not interested in a short right now. I just want to see, I want to watch how we are behaving in this fair value gap, which is also for me, in my opinion, a propulsion block here. And it might be a valid one, it might just spike up. Because I know this area is treacherous because of this box. Here we go. I might even take what time is it? Yeah, I'm going to take the paper trade long. Let's see. I'm just going to try it because I want to see if my logic works. Oh, come on. Get in. Now my stop loss is too far out, but it's okay. I can do it. And my trade is up to here, 167. Oh, so it's a 2R. It's still a 2R trade. I just entered 2. Now everything lines up for me. 0.5 propulsion block. We hit an objective. Now I could be wrong. I could be stopped out. It's 35 ticks. Yeah, it's 2 because I pressed it twice. But I just want to see if we hit the devil's mark here before going down. And then I might be interested. Then I might be interested in a short. I'm not going to enter any time here if it doesn't do anything that I really like. It's too undecisive. Okay, stopped out. So I got stopped out, but I still wouldn't be surprised if it still goes up now. Let's see what it does. So even me with my patience, I've been stopped out, I guess. Let's see if it wants to go up or not. Oh boy. Pam 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 pam. That's why I don't touch this. You see, it's still going up. I think it's still gonna go here at least. I got stopped out. Hello, Gigi. I'm still bullish. But you see, even it stopped me out with my trade, so I'm not going to re-enter the paper trade. It just tells me that I have to, I just know this area is very treacherous and just not ready to, I'm just saying it's just not ready to move down that I'm interested in the move down yet. So I'm just waiting until it goes into here, and then I might consider. We also have a propulsion block, by the way, here. I noticed. Which lines up with this area. Yeah, I'm not entering any short before we touch this area. God, it's so freeing just to be able not to anticipate in this junk anymore. Just to start recognizing it. It's just for me. I think that's where I'm really happy, being able to recognize, not to anticipate in this. Do you see how we react on the 0.5? If it's running without me, I'm just gonna let it run. I'm just not interested. It might just fall down and run, but it's just a bit of a gamble for me. I really would like to see a AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. For me, this is just accumulation, and I would like to be short, but I want to see the manipulation first, and then enter the distribution. And sometimes it's very hard. If it sometimes it does a manipulation which is not clear, then you miss the first leg out, which might be the manipulation, and most people get FOMO out of it, but that is just the manipulation. Once you see the AMD and it's the manipulation that you move, you will be able to enter on the distribution. So any move that comes out of this one most likely will be the manipulation move, which I don't really mind missing. Does that make sense? And I'm hoping that it's just this move up here and then the distribution to the downside. But it could be the other way around, but I just don't know. I want to be 100% sure before I enter on any account. So, does any monetary value attach? I just want more confirmation. This is just tricking everybody. This is making you mad. This is creating FOMO and creating people to tilt. This is tilting. Look at this on the 3-minute, guys. You don't want to be a part of this. This is where you tilt. You see this? You don't want to be part of this. Look how this has been forming. This is not. Are you guys tilting? You get FOMO from this? You feel like you're missing something? There you go. You look at the nine, you see how ugly it is? Okay, let's see if we can tap into the suspension block and give this a little, but be careful, this is not going to be a long, because I think it's just going to wick and go back down maybe. Let's see. It's not a long in the sense of, oh my god, it's going to get continuation. It's just wicking back and forth. But I do think it might go and just tap into here and then boom. So you see how this propulsion block is doing its work here? Exactly 0.5. Exactly. To the tick. Hello, Gigi. How are you doing, my love? Time specific. What's a silver bullet? Yeah, I traded. Vincent, I traded. Did you see I made a video on it. I was so happy. No, no, no. See, Kennedy, there is no FOMC meeting. It's the FOMC minutes. It's a difference. The FOMC meeting has been 3 weeks ago. These are the minutes. The minutes are the minutes of the FOMC meeting 3 weeks ago. So, yes, it is a red folder news, but they tend to be less volatile than the FOMC meeting. If you go to if you look at the news, it says FOMC minutes. So they tend to be 3/4 less volatile. But because of the war, they can use it. You have to be aware. But yeah. So there is no FOMC meeting. It's FOMC minutes. But you see, guys, even though it's very tricky, you see that it's still respecting, if you can identify specific PD arrays and how they could react, you can save yourself. Because I said, okay, I already marked this level here, 0.5, and look where it reacted. I was waiting for this to see if it would respect this. And now we're in the suspension block, so I'm okay. If it goes up from here, you know, you saw me being stopped out as well here, right? So I'm not, okay, you know what, I'm not even going to play this. But for me, it's not a surprise that it went up from here and I wasn't entering short anytime. Now I might be interested. Now I might be interested in, okay, if we're going to start going up, because I'm waiting, you know, guys, I've been waiting for this green box since February. If I see we're going to disrespect this, what do we have here? What's this little piece? There's a BPR. If we're going to disrespect this BPR, I know we're going to go long. If we're going to respect this, suspension block, I might be going for a short, but I'm watching if we're going to disrespect this. But look, the propulsion block, guys, I marked it exactly here. What did we do? We went into this PD array, exactly, boom, and up we go. So, so Vincent, I traded the silver bullet yesterday. I made a video. I was so happy with the trade. Everything lined up. Everything. It was so clean. And yeah, it's I posted it straight after because I didn't stream yesterday, Vincent. So I made I was I saw it. I was already in. I thought, oh my god, let me record it, especially for you, Priya. That one is actually, I thought, let me, and then I posted it on YouTube. But I thought it was such a clean trade because everything lined up, the OTE levels, time. And then after that trade, you know, everything went. There were even more trades, to be honest. The breaker in the end of the PM session was created, a higher time frame. There were so many opportunities. I got 135 points. Yeah, well done. Yeah, yeah. It was very clean, eh? It was very beautiful. See, we all I can see the people that we're trading similar. We all took the same trade. It's very funny to see that sometimes when you look at the same things, you already know which people are going to take the trade or are in it, right? Yeah. Yeah, I did 4 micros on an eval, so it was a good day. Yeah. Rael, now win trade in Asia, so all good. Oh, well done. Yeah, Asia. I mean, if you took that trade, well done. Yeah. Well, good. Yesterday lost, still fresh in my mind. Oh, did you? Okay, Rael, sorry to hear that. But then I'm happy to hear that you made it back in Asia. So, time-specific ICT concept. Oh, see, Kennedy, yeah. Yeah, the silver bullet, you know, it's a time-based concept from ICT. Technically, it's just a retracement into a displacement. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of videos upon it, so I don't want to go too deep into it on the stream, but it's you look for a specific fair value gap that has been created between a specific time-based range, so between 10 and 11 in this sense. But we also have one in London. We also have it in the PM session. Yeah. Exactly, Vincent. It hasn't. It's the first time I've seen it like this for ages. I couldn't give Priya her example in PM session. I could not. I was looking for it, and in London a few times, but it wasn't still. It was either an implied fair value gap. It was really not the normal fair value gap. And if you look clearly as well here, we went all the way into the fair value gap, right? But there wasn't one in New York for a long time, or I might have missed it. I don't know. But I was looking for it, and I'm like, hell no, I can't find it. It was really, it was the first time again that everything lined up for a long, long time. That's why I was so excited, and oh my god, I'm going to record this one. Yeah. What languages do you speak? Well, I speak Dutch, obviously. I speak a little bit of Spanish and obviously some English. I think that's enough. I don't want to. I'm not interested in speaking Afrikaans because you know I already speak Dutch, which is a whole. I don't think Dutch is a beautiful language, and Afrikaans is similar to Dutch. We can understand each other, but it's very hard. Both are very harsh, and if I speak to South Africans and they want to speak Afrikaans to me, I either respond in English or in Dutch, or I try to sound Afrikaans. But I'm not really eager to really study it. I do pick up on things on the radio here, and I can understand it fully. But baie dankie. It sounds so weird. I mean, I'm not really eager to speak it, but yeah. So also this price section, I'm still not. I'm just. I don't like the. I mean, for a short, I'm still not. Like I said, I'm not that eager for a short either because of the propulsion. I think this is now really functioning as a propulsion block. What I would like to see that we form a new propulsion block for continuation to the upside. I'm still not. I'm just not sure about the short at the moment. Midnight is here with a gap on the 15-minute. But I think we might want to make another high. Like I said before, that's why I pointed out the area. I know how treacherous this area is. On the 4-hour, like I showed many times already, and I've been taken for a ride a couple of times in this area. Mind you, it's a 4-hour wick that I'm pointing out, right? So also here, this area here, if you go back in time, this is a big, so you open here at 2, you went all the way back up here, all right? So that could be around, and then it went back into the range. Now, what we're doing right now, we're going back. We're still here, but I just want to make sure that this high is in. That this high is in on this 4-hour candle. So that's important to me. I just really want. I want that knowledge, and that means I don't have that knowledge until 6 o'clock. But if we start really moving away from it, then it becomes clear when we start going below the suspension block again. But look how price is printing. Top relaxing. You have to be top relaxing and just wait. This is an area. Look, we're just consolidating. Price is telling me not to do anything. I got stopped out on my long, even though I was correct here. I was still stopped out, right? And it did exactly that, what I thought it was. I wanted the wick. Now, look what's happening here. When I mentioned the devil's mark, we could go in, well, we might have hit just 0.5. It might be a short, to be honest. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I might start to get interested in the short, but on the other hand, look here, we got equal highs here. I keep on saying I'm not ready yet. I just don't trust it 100%. So this is exactly what you want to see around the devil's mark. You see price action. There was a lack of manipulation. This was the manipulation this candle needed. Now, if we are top relaxing, you're asking for a long, but it's more short than long at the moment, but I don't trust it yet. I need more confirmation. I want to be 100% sure. Now I do like it. Now things are starting to line up a little bit better, but we have a propulsion block. We have a devil's mark. We have a lack of manipulation, which has been given. Now the thing is, this is a 15-minute. I'm going to wait till 4:30 to see if we get another 15-minute candle. If that's going to be an expansion to this, then I might be interested in a long. If not, this is indicating to me that this is not going to hold. That this might be the short from here. I still don't know. I just don't know. I can frame it both ways. I've got a propulsion block here. I've got a wick here that has not been met to 50%. We've got midnight here. What's the rule with midnight, guys? Where do you want to enter for a short? Yeah, exactly, Vincent. That's what I'm also thinking. Is this a market maker model? Do we have a market maker model here? Did we hit original consolidation yet? Original consolidation. It doesn't matter how small the time frame is. Original sell side, buy side. So this is original consolidation. We haven't touched it at all. So I'm still expecting a little bit more to the upside. Can you tell us how to use this fib stuff? What do you mean fib stuff? That's like what can you be specific? Because going over fib stuff is like a whole lecture. Priya can tell you about that. Fib stuff is like it's very generic and very big. But are you referring to something specific on the charts? Top relaxing. Are you referring to my 0.5 level? So you see, everything that I mark for a reason that I want that gives me information. Like, okay, what is price doing? I mentioned this suspension block, which is also, in this bearish fair value gap. Like, okay, what is it doing? See, it's holding price here, but if we just talk market maker models and just taking it from the most basic stuff, consolidation, sell side, we go back into the original concept. Those are the lower time frames full market maker models. But it needs to go back into the lower time frame consolidation. It didn't tap to it yet. So that gives me a signal like, are we really done yet? So I'm still expecting a little move to the upside. You mean how I mark the propulsion block? Well, I'm just looking, so if it's a propulsion block, it's very simple. A propulsion block is a ICT concept that gives you knowledge in trending markets that the price action goes into it and then propels from it. So I just what I do, you have to play around with it. Some people do wick to wick. It's just 0.5 level here, just 0.5, just the midpoint. I just want to see what the midpoint is. You can do it from wick to wick, but I use body to body because I find that works better for me. But it just depends. But you have to be consistent with what you do. So for me, it's just body to body of the propulsion block, and we hit it exactly here. And then this is where I got stopped out. I mean, you always should take 1 or 2 points lower. You remember I wanted to trade from here, and then I got stopped out. Now, if you want to trade distribution, the 4 o'clock, you want to enter in this part of the wick. Now, I'm not interested in a long guess, but this could have been a nice trade. When you trust the propulsion block, you want to enter in the manipulation area, open, low. This is the manipulation, the distribution you want to trade. So, but I'm just not interested right now. I just want to get more information because I thought we might reject. I was thinking, okay, we could go up here, the devil's mark, just tap into it and then go back lower. So I'm still waiting. But now I'm thinking the market maker model we're still on the bullish 1 minute buy side because we haven't tapped into the original consolidation yet. Now we are doing it. 433. So, am I trusting it yet? Look, I'm not. And look at this. I'm actually eager for a short now, maybe. We tap into original consolidation here. I'm just going to wait for a short, guys, but we need to be patient. So the logic is that I think there's still business up here. We're not done yet. We are just not done yet. I think it needs to go to a higher time PD rate before it's ready to go to the downside. The propulsion block here is telling you that it still wants to go higher. We've got equal highs here. So, but it's not very, it's not clean in the sense of it goes back and forth, right? 424. Now we are above the suspension block, so this is bullish. We're still bullish. We're not ready to go down yet. Okay, let's see. This is now short-term liquidity. Let us see if it's going to tag the green line and go back down, because that could happen. We could be. This is just could be the. So look at the 1 minute. We formed the original consolidation of the market maker model, right? You see that? We're back into. See, that's what I mean. Yeah. So technically we finalized a 1 minute market maker model, but we created equal highs, but we moved away from it. You see? So I'll show you again on the 15, or I'll show you on the 5 minute. So if you, yeah, so what I heard is that what Walker Scooter did, he created that name after we have Matt, that is really a good trader, so he could lift off the algorithm that is Matt. We've got one trader that is pretty, I forgot his name. Well, it's also Matt, but he created that name right after he saw that Matt was doing very, very well. So, and his name is a little bit different. So, but obviously a lot of people confuse the two. And we've got one Matt that actually ICT also referred to, that he's trying to lift off. That's what I heard. But if it broke that 4-hour line, do you think it will go up? It's not. Top relaxing. It's not about just the line. It's just you can see it. I mean, you can see that the price action is hard to trade right now. It just goes back down, up and down, up and down. So it's not about just going into that line. It's about what is price action actually doing. What's the high time frame objective? What does it want to do? We obviously had a really, really, really large run, right, in Asia, or yeah, well, the Asia high low isn't that big, but the move from here, well, yeah, it is actually a large run, but we don't count the Asia range until 8 o'clock. So we had a large run here, and then we started here, sort of like consolidating on our way up. So we have a previous month high here. We have some levels. So we also have to be aware that price could, we still have midnight here. You always want to think about, like, okay, where would I enter for a short, or where would I enter for a long? Now, we always say we want to enter for a short above midnight, but then what is the level we want to enter? For me, it's like, okay, for me, it's just not 100% clear what the higher time frame objective is. Why? Okay, there are some levels that I think, okay, that are very obvious, the previous month high, but there are other levels here as well that could be used, and that's why I was looking at those 4-hour wicks. I'll show you guys again. But I'm also aware of what price has been doing so many times. 9 times already we went into this area, we left it again to be revisited. So that's why I'm very, very careful in this area, because it happened already. Look, this is once we start going in this box, this is going to be the best trade of the month, most likely. It will be low resistance, because there is need of buy side and sell side here. I believe there is a low resistance liquidity on running, but I don't think it will come from a trade like we're acting now. I hope we go lower to go higher. But then again, it could still go into it because of maybe the news. So I want to see at 6 o'clock what this level, if we hold this level here. That's for me important information, because then we took out this 4-hour high, but we didn't take out these. I actually don't think we are going to go into that box, this candle. I would be surprised. I think we might get like a smaller candle, or I would love to see. You see, we all have. I'm thinking that we might have something like this. Maybe we didn't get the distribution to the downside yet. I just think we're going to get some shenanigans here in this area before we go into it. I just don't know how it's going to, what it wants to do. But if you compare it to all the other situations, here we had a large move, and then we had some price action just below it, and then it went away from it. But I do believe that we are going to go into it now at some point, because this some point needs to be taken out. These ones are important. So that's it's just not, it's not really like, oh, it's going into that, so we're going to do that. It's like, how is it going to manipulate? It's more like, what's the manipulation doing? Because we had such a large move, I would rather see manipulation to the downside first before it makes that move up. But I don't want to miss that move, because I've been waiting for that move for a long time. So, oh, you see here we tap into it, now we're moving away from it. Oh no, we still did not. We just create equal highs. That's beautiful. Let it go down, and then we will attack those equal highs later on today. Oh, they left us a present. This is a present, guys. I hope they leave it. I hope they don't touch it anymore in this candle. Let's leave it. Let's go down and then leave this for later on. But just remember, they're equal highs here. That's perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna go. Let it go down. I mean, I'm not gonna trade it. I'm not interested, because I don't know how violent and tricky it can be. But I'm not gonna wait for my trade and attack these equal highs. But then again, you want to be aware it might take these equal highs, take out this little, might still not go into the box. It's still. I remember this is a difficult area. It can do it another, I don't know how many times. So see, Kennedy, he probably charges a lot for those levels, I guess. Yeah, everything is made is a if something works for someone, we want to give credits to them. If they've worked for something and they back tested and found out something that worked and they are consistent with it, kudos to them. It takes time, guys. It takes time to. But listen, if you look at the markets and you journal and you start looking at them and you start really focusing on specifics and you journal. I keep on hammering on the journaling. You will start getting your own level. You don't need someone like Rocket Scooter or me or whoever, because you are writing your own charts. And I think the few people that I know in here that are successful already, I think they can vouch with that the journaling made them be able to trade. Well, we literally take the same trades all the time because we've journaled and we've seen it over and over, and we trust the time that things happening, and we look for those little things that give us the confidence to really enter that trade. And I didn't take any partials on that trade yesterday because I was so sure, like, okay, it's going to go to that level, because I've been back testing and everything lined up perfectly. But the only way to find out is by journaling, and then you don't need anyone. Not me, not Rocket Scooter, not even ICT at some point anymore. Yes, I still learn from ICT. Listen, I don't like the men at all, but I love the concepts. But you will have to find your own trading identity by journaling and looking, and you will see things in the market happening over and over and over and over again. It's just sometimes there's a little bit of variety. And you always have to be critical. If you watch me, you have to be critical of what I'm doing. Don't trust me for what I'm doing, because I still make mistakes. But you can take some things and backtest it for yourself. If I say some things like, okay, that's interesting, but I see it differently, and that's what you should always challenge the person you're looking at, but also challenge yourself constantly. But because I'm, for example, see something that you, or I might not see something that you see. For example, if you like scalping, you could have good trades here, but I don't like scalping. But I said, well, this is not a trade for me because I think we're just going to go up and down. But I did say, okay, one could argue, yeah, you were stopped out here, but why didn't you take the trade up to here? I could have done it, but does it interest me? I'll show you how many. If I already look at this trade was 32 points. I'm not interested in that, guys. I'm just not interested in that. I'm waiting for at least 100-point trades, which give me which give me the confidence to enter. And then I can still be wrong, right? I can still be wrong, but I'm not interested in these small trades, which are just giving me the ick. Like, let's look at a 9-minute again. It might look a little bit better now, but look at this. You do not want to trade this, guys. I'm just telling you. Wicks are imbalances. What does the market do? The market balances out imbalances. And what does that mean? That means it takes time. That means back and forth, back and forth. So that's the point of wicks, right? Wicks are just a long more imbalances which needs to be balanced out. So until they are all balanced out, then you want to get into a trade. The point of a balanced price range is that means the price is finally ready to move to the next range. If you see a lot of wicks, it's not ready to move to the next range yet. You want to wait. Balanced price ranges are actually the whole essence of the market. Then you know price is ready to make the next move, and then you get your low resistance liquidity run. This is telling me like, no, there's no liquidity run yet coming that interests me. I'm a distribution trader. I want the distribution candles, the large ones. I want these. But obviously I didn't get those because I was not trading yet. But they will come. So it all depends on what you like, right? It depends on what you like. And sometimes you have to wait. And sometimes you miss them. Well, listen, guys, if it goes blasting in this range, I would be a little bit upset. Because I want to be in that trade. But on the other hand, I also have to accept it. I missed it one time. It was also a green box. And I missed it. It was on stream as well. I think it was on stream. It happened in Asia or somewhere else. I can't remember. Okay, so we took out that the equal highs already. I need some more information on the higher time frame. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I need some wicks. I need my wicks. Hold on. Don't move, MNQ. Stop. How did I forget to do this? You guys should have asked me, hey, where are your wicks? Monthly, weekly, daily. We're above here. 24,246. Candle patterns never mean anything at all. It's not the pattern that you want to trade. It's the narrative behind it. I mean, everything's still working perfectly fine, to be honest. But if you're just pattern trading, nothing is doesn't make. It's never the pattern. It's always the narrative around the pattern. So, right, Priya? It's never the pattern. We don't pattern trade. We always look for narrative if-then statements. If then. That's what makes ICT concepts work. Not the pattern. Because the pattern is everywhere all the time. And it has nothing to do with Trump or whatever. Because the swing highs and swing lows are still algorithmically designed. Everything is still the same. The only thing that is different right now is that we have more manipulation and we have more time distortion and more accumulation. That's the only difference, but everything works the same. But the pattern is never working if you just trade the pattern. It has nothing to do with Trump being in office. It's just because it's more confusing because of the time distortion and there is more accumulation phases in between the moves. But everything is still the same. Look, I can tell you already here, we've got a beautiful no, I'm not going to even show it, but I still think we're going to go higher now. But it's not the pattern. The pattern is never working on itself. But it has nothing to do, don't blame the president, don't blame anything else. It's just the only thing that you have to be actually thankful for the news because we get large movements. I love the volatility, but it just makes you have to be more patient and be aware of that you're not trading a pattern, but you have to have narrative. You have to have constantly in your mind, okay, where are we at on the higher time frame? But everything is still working fine. You just have to wait longer for the A+ setups. I'm still not interested, guys. I'm still not interested. Pattern traders are the ones that will never be profitable because they see a pattern, they trade the pattern, but they don't understand the higher time frame narrative because the patterns are out there everywhere and they're all the same. Is the difference that make a pattern work is that things are lining up with your higher time frame narrative, but also time. I keep saying that it's time. But the pattern itself, they will present themselves over and over and over again. And the more manipulation and override there is, they will be there more, but they will fool you to take them. And because the markets are designed around fear and greed. So if you're not skilled enough, you fall for that trap. Oh, do we have a devil's mark on the 1 hour? Ooh. Where? Oh, I see it. Here. Ooh. Right over here, 103. Yeah, but I wonder if it's ready to really, like, for example, what I trade the 4 hour candles, right? So what I would like to see is where, like, let's look at the 4 hour right now. Look how it looks at the moment. So we have the 10 o'clock low here. We have 1 more hour to go. So what can we expect? Can we expect a little bit of expansion still to come? Or are we going to have a doji and then maybe the next candle might be an expansion? Because remember, we did have a propulsion block here, and still we have to be aware that it did function as a propulsion block, right? So, but the question is, it was only a 15-minute, because I looked at the 1 hour. We didn't have a 1 hour propulsion. Oh, we actually, oh, that's interesting here. You see here, this is going to, okay, this is interesting, guys. The question is now, if we go higher, is this going to be the 1 hour propulsion block for the future? You want to keep that in mind. But we only have a 15-minute propulsion block. Now the question is, how long is a 15-minute propulsion block valid? That's what you want to ask yourself. Is it going to take us to previous month high? Or are we going to need that 1 hour propulsion block for that? Little Jan there. What time did it form? What time did it hit? 4 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock now. Yeah, I'm very careful here. Like again, Vincent is also pointing out, I'm going to show you guys again because I really want to point out how important it is to understand higher time frame narrative. Now, obviously, when you have a wick like this, it starts with price action like that because you want to see the close. So for me, I just know I have to accept. I want to see this 4 hour candle close to tell me what it's doing in regards to these wicks. And I know I might miss a trade, but this box is large. I've got a large box here. And I've got a TP here that is much higher, that has my interest. Now we might expand and I might miss it, but yeah. Oh, it already did it. Yeah, here we go. Previous month high. Here we go. 5 o'clock. Okay, so you want to be aware, we took out liquidity, this one. Or is it going to just create the wick here and go back into the range, and it's going to leave this one here for later? Let's see what it wants to do. So if it takes this one, it will take previous month high. And I guess that was the objective then for this move. Then we can start looking for a short. If you all miss these trades, right? I mean, think about this. If you miss this move, look what it's leaving behind. So many PD arrays that we can use in our next trades. So also for those who are not trading LON and they wake up and say, okay, wow, beautiful, we already made the move. It's a little bit uncertain for us, but look, if we get the short and we can short it all the way back to midnight, who cares that we missed the move, the high resistance, wicky back and forth price action to the upside. Yeah, it's going into the green box, but I don't know. It's still a large box. Still good. We're still good. It will be upsetting if it goes straight into it. But look here, we've got a fair value gap here. We've got an inversion, BPR. So let's see what it wants to do. Just watch it. It will be if it takes out this liquidity into a 4-hour BPR. Hey guys, that might be, or maybe reject here. It's going to be interesting short. I might start positioning myself at some point, depending on what it does. What did Asia do? ES? Okay, we do have some SMT with it's 4 past. Take out the pound here. Take out these equals. This is 10th of March. Yeah, okay, there is SMT, but I think they will follow. I don't think it's going to hold. I think this is what it's in a hurry. It's going to go into that. I think we might have a run until maybe until 25-20ish. Wouldn't be surprised about that. Anyone in a long? Is anyone comfortable in this trade? 172, Uton B, 171, 82, 20, 240. 220 to 240. Oh, you exited already? Well done. Well done. Rajesha is in it with Jay Kumar. Took a long exit at 25 to 20. The only entry for me would have been at 0.5, but I got stopped out here. But then again, I wasn't really sure about this area here. So that was only 25, 30 points. So, but it was a propulsion block, that's for sure. We know now. Now we don't have a 15-minute, but we have an hourly propulsion block. There you go. So this one has my interest now. I think that will be the last move. We go into this one and then we blast off for the last bit. See if we're going to use that one. Um, 10 past 8. I'm almost inquiring. I would like to take a short from here. I think it's done for now. I'm going to take a paper trade short, see if it works. Macro is done. I'm actually counter trending now because I'm getting impatient a little bit. It's always good to demo. I might be too early. It might still run another 10 minutes though. Or are you going to go down from 520 TP? Let's do it from here back to 3 o'clock. Oh, let's do it to here a little bit. And then my stop loss is going to be, it's right over here. A very small trade. Um, 312. Where is 312? Okay. Might be too early. Just a paper trade. Thinking it wants to make one more high because we got the devil's mark here. Yeah, it's going to be stopped out on this one, I think. 511. Let's see. Let's do one more high and then go into the range maybe. Let's see. Oh, we'll see. 511 passed. Yeah, it makes sense as well because I want to wait for the 15-minute S&T with ES. So that's about 4 minutes. So I think ES will catch up as well. So I don't think we're going to get S&T. I think ES is going to take out that 10th of March before quarter past. So this was the S&T with NQ, but I think NQ is going to catch up, taking this out. Yeah. Pound, interesting. Yeah, okay. 260. I wouldn't be surprised if we go all the way up to 260, to be honest. Yeah, I think we can make it up to 260 now. I think that's going to be a trade until 520. Let me check some other things that I can check. I think 260 is in play. I think that's a safe one, two, enter two. Let me check some other things that I can look at. I think it will go to this area before it heads down again. G60. I think here, this area might be interesting for that. She's getting very fickle now. It's getting too fast, and then it will really make a fast move. Then it most likely is done with the objective, maybe. Let's see. What are you gonna do? What time is it? 14. Come on, NQ and ES, take both. Go NQ to 260. Get it over and done with. $5.15. Where's ES at? ES. 17 past. Let's see. 5 past. Come on, what time did we start turning? 5:14. Pam, 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 pam. Okay, I want to see 260. Come on. Oh, come on, give it to us, please. Get it over and done with. Okay, let's see now. Once you get a little bit spike to the upside, come on. 422. Okay, yeah, guys, I'm not going to wait for this anymore. I'm just going to let this play out, and I'm going to be back in pre-market. I'm going to go touch some grass. I think 260 is in play, but what's this? Oh, yeah. You just want to be careful in this area because it's almost done, I think, with the move to the upside. But then again, yeah, I'm going to go to the beach, have a nice walk. I can sit here all day, but then again, I'm just getting crazy. I like them. I think it's going to make its last move 260, but let's see 523 what it wants to do. Any questions before I leave you guys? It's been a nice session though. I didn't put any trades on yet, just a paper trade. I think we're going to get some nice price action, but you want to be careful because we had such a large move already. But we had a lot of consolidation as well. I mean, look, for London, then we had a move up. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution, or, you know, really, really high time frame. This is second stage accumulation. But I don't think we have the second stage of accumulation yet because it's been all high resistance. That will be a low resistance liquidity run. So I think we're going to get another area of accumulation, and then we might get the second stage of accumulation, which will give us a last faster run into that green box of mine that I've been talking about. So I'm just sort of waiting for that. This is just not. I don't look. We've let a lot of spottiness here, so I do think we're going to get some nice move to the downside again. And then price action will become clean at some point, but I think we have to wait for New York, to be honest. So it is what it is. But those who are patient will be rewarded. Those who are not will pay the price. I always pay the price when I'm not patient. Any questions, people? Thank you, guys. I do trade, but I don't. I don't trade New York publicly, but maybe I'll do a PM session today. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But yeah, I would be very careful with the short at the moment, to be honest. It might go down a little bit, but you want to take the short when it hits a higher time frame PD array, and you want to try to find out what is the objective the market wants to do. If it didn't hit its higher time frame PD array, it will go down, but not in the way that you want. You want the low resistance liquidity run to the downside. Until it meets its objective, it won't do that. It won't give it to you. So just be careful. Yeah, thank you, C. Kennedy, as well, for all your active involvement, and anyone else. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. No trade yet for me because it's a little bit, I just want to see what's going on, and it's still not really clear to me. Obviously it's clear it's going up. I mean, you understand what I'm saying, but I really want that low resistance liquidity run. And the question is, did we take out the higher time frame PD array that the market is looking for, right? So we didn't take out this high yet, but we went into it. There is SMT. Well, actually, it did exactly the same here. So I think the SMT will not last. So I think they're still going to go up. So I will be careful. Yeah, take care. I'm just going to wait, guys. I mean, we are in my green box, but remember, this was also price action, but I want to see the close. For me, it's very important. I wouldn't be surprised if before 6 o'clock this will be a wick again. So that means price action will go down again. So we have another wick. That's what I'm waiting for. If not, I'll have a look in Symbithy, Vincent. Yeah, so I saw your question, but there was so much going on. I'll have a look. I never heard of Symbithy, but I'll look it up. Let me look it up now quickly. Where is Simbithi? So I am near, a bit in between, and KwaZulu-Natal as well. Oh, Shaka's Rock. Oh, you're near Balito. Oh, I go to Balito for shopping a lot. Oh, you're near Shaka's Rock. I see, right? Okay, interesting. Oh, I'll visit you guys. I'll come say hello when you're there. Let me know when that is. I would love to meet you guys. That would be awesome if that's late June. Okay, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I go to Belito for my shopping once a month, or I try to go there. I go to Woolies and I need to buy some stuff, so I go either to Richards Bay or to Belito, but I prefer Belito because the shops are a little bit more better. You see, we're going down now. I think we're going to create a wick, but don't be fooled that it's the move to the downside already. It could be, but also just be careful that we could also have an expansion on the next 4-hour candle, right? Just because we did not take out this high, we still have a previous month high above us, right? So I am just not sure if we really met the objective yet. So it's a little bit tricky. Previous month high is right above us. So you don't want to go short here and thinking, oh, we're really short. You want to wait until previous month high has been taken out. Because we're already halfway, right? We're already so far. Yeah. So just be careful, guys. Yeah. And if we do go down, keep an eye on that 1 hour propulsion block, the midpoint. It might want to go down, obviously, but not all the way, and then you want to take the expansion to the upside. So okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and maybe if price action is nice, I might do a stream in the PM session. There is 10-year bond auction. I never like that, so don't be too worried about the minutes. It can give a reaction, but the minutes are not as strong as the meeting itself, FOMC meeting. So we have the minutes today, but not the meeting. The meeting was 3 weeks ago. Yeah. So, okay, guys, I'll see you later. I need to go touch some grass. I need to take my washing out, my bedding, and make sure it dries before I go to bed again. Okay, I love you guys. Ciao, ciao. Thank you again for all your for hanging out and having fun with me together. Bye.